Hey guys, happy Monday. So today I'm going to show you how I apply my powder foundation with a wet makeup sponge. Today I'm using the Pure Cosmetics makeup sponge, but in the video I'm actually recommending that you guys go and purchase the Real Techniques one because it's extremely similar to this one and much less expensive. So a lot of you had requested this particular tutorial because it doesn't seem like it's a good idea to use a wet sponge with a dry powder foundation, but it actually helps to not only increase the coverage, but increases the wear of the powder foundation for me. The Tarte Creamy Confidence powder foundation is meant to be used wet or dry, so I'm specifically recommending this product to try this technique with. I have not tried it with any of my other powder foundations yet, but I will of course report back in the future. For me, this is my Bulletproof summer foundation routine. I find that using the sponge really helps to increase the coverage, it increases the longevity of the foundation, and it also helps to just cover more areas that might otherwise show through if I use a brush, which is what I would typically do with a powder foundation. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. It is a little bit longer only because I tried to address a lot of potential questions that I thought might come up, but stay tuned throughout the entire video because there are definitely certain techniques that I use that makes this process work a lot better and again helps to increase the longevity of the powder foundation. So for me, this is going to be my go-to summer foundation routine. It's been working beautifully in the hot weather that we've been having, and I'm a huge fan. So anyway, go ahead and stay tuned and let's get into the tutorial portion. Okay guys, so let's get into the tutorial here. So immediately after getting out of the shower, by the way, that's why my hair is still soaking wet. I just hopped out of the shower a few minutes ago. I went ahead and I sprayed my Andalou Naturals 1000 Roses Facial Toner onto my hands. I would say sprayed it onto my face, but honestly this spritzer on here is pretty aggressive, it's pretty strong. So I prefer to just put this into the palm of my hand and then press it into my skin. For me personally, this is enough moisture because it has hyaluronic acid in it, and I have an oilier skin type that I don't need an additional moisturizer. Besides, I'm already getting a moisturizer and an SPF in my priming product, so to me that's plenty of moisture. But this just kind of helps to rehydrate my skin after washing my face in the morning, and it really does help to prep my skin for the application of my foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. So this is the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. I will of course link all of this stuff down below for you. This is amazing for oily skin. It just has honestly worked better than any other primer or SPF that I've ever used. This is about how much I use for my face. I use another SPF product on my neck, so I do not bring this down onto my neck. This is not the right tone for me, as you can tell. This is a lot more beigey and my skin has a lot of yellow in it. So I use the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in G20. And that helps to adjust the shade of this just enough. I just essentially put in one solid drop like that, and then carefully put the lid back on this because this gets really messy. And then I mix that together. And as you can see, it's already just a much better shade fit or tone fit for my skin. So put that on. And with your SPF, you definitely want to be generous. Don't skimp on it. And don't get it in your eyes. I don't use an eye cream in the morning. I bring that toner up underneath my eye area because it is very hydrating. So that is good enough for during the day. And then obviously I bring the moisturizer and the SPF underneath my eyes. make sure to get that kind of into your hairline too. So this doesn't provide like a ton of coverage, but I don't really need it to, so. Okay, once I have that on, I go ahead and I kill a little bit of time by putting on my eye primer. I just want that to sit on my face for like a minute before I apply my powder foundation over top. I use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Eye primer is also a big thing for me only because I have really oily eyelids on top of having really oily skin. This has just been a huge issue for me my entire life, so eye primers are honestly a godsend for me. I do wish that Too Faced would put an SPF in here. I don't know why they don't, but that would be super helpful. Whenever I am outside, I always wear sunglasses, so my eyes are pretty much protected around this area, but any additional SPF you can put on your face is obviously a good thing. Sometimes when I know I'm going to be outside for really long periods of time, like when I'm setting up weddings outside or something, I will put this over my eye area, like my eyelid area as well, and then I go over top of it with the primer, and that gives me that little bit of SPF. By the way, this has an SPF of 30 in it, so it's pretty good. Okay, so my skin definitely feels pretty much dry at this point. Then I take my wet sponge. I'm going to link the Real Techniques beauty sponge down below for you guys. This one is from Pure Cosmetics, but the Real Techniques one has a very similar texture to this, and it's less expensive. Then I'm going to take my Tarte Double Duty Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation. I use the color Fairlight Neutral. That's me right here, pasty. This has a nice kind of yellow undertone to it. It works really well with the tone of my skin. It looks a little bit light in the pan, but once I get it on my skin, it works great. So this sponge is damp. It's not soaking wet. It's not dripping. What I did is I ran it under water for about 10 seconds and squeezed it while the water was running over it, so that it made the entire sponge wet through and through. Then I took a clean towel and I wrapped it in the towel and squeezed it. Then I went to a dry spot in the towel and did that again. So it's essentially just damp. And what I'm going to do is just take it into the foundation, and I'm going to start pressing it onto my skin. So I'm doing like a pressing, like swiping type motion. I really do find that this helps to conceal my pores a little bit better, and it also helps the wear of the makeup throughout the day. Now that it's getting really warm where I live, my makeup definitely wants to slide off my face by the middle point of the day, no matter what I do, but this definitely has helped to make a difference in terms of prolonging the wear of my makeup. I feel like it just adheres a little bit better to my skin. And I think that the coverage of this product is much better when you use it wet or damp. I don't want to say wet because you definitely don't want to take like a soaking sponge to this, but the damp sponge is just fine. It doesn't affect the texture of the product at all. It's actually meant to be used wet or dry. And I'm really just pressing this on here. I'm not necessarily like swiping. I'm just getting a little bit more as I need it. And as you can see, it's going right underneath my eyes. It's not making my under eye area look dry or cakey in any kind of way. If you do have dry under eyes, I would suggest using your eye cream prior and really letting that soak into your skin before going over top with your powder foundation. Sometimes this area over here needs just a little bit more coverage. And then obviously blend that down just onto your neck a little bit. And I'm pretty happy with that coverage. It evens out my skin. It makes it look, sorry, my drawer's open here. It makes it look smooth and just really pretty, honestly. I like the way that my skin looks with this technique the best. Then I'm going to take just a little bit more of a setting powder, and this is the Paula's Choice Resist Flawless Finish Powder. I have this in the color light medium, and I'm just going to take a really, it's not a tightly packed or dense brush, and it's a synthetic brush. This is just a brush that I found at TJ Maxx several years ago. And I'm going to take a little bit of that powder and I'm going to press that into the areas where I tend to get the oiliest, which for me is my cheeks, my nose, my chin, and my forehead. So essentially for me, my entire face, but you know, some people definitely have more combination skin. During the fall and winter, I do have more combination skin, but right now it's really just plain oily. So I'm just like pressing that into my skin. And that's it. That is my powder foundation routine for the summer months. I love all these products. They work beautifully for me. If you're lucky enough to where this is the right tone for your skin, then you definitely don't need the Cover FX drops. But I will say, adding just a drop or two of this also increases the coverage. So if you are someone who has rosacea or who has discolored skin from like melasma or anything like that, these will help to up the coverage of whatever it is that you're using, whether it's a BB cream or even just your regular moisturizer. They're wonderful. I highly recommend them. They are crazy messy, and that's frustrating, but at the same time, they just work so darn good. So typically 1 to 2 drops is the most that I will use, but as you can see, I don't have a ton of discoloration. I have some redness that is just natural because of the amount of retinol that I'm constantly using, but I don't know, I find them really super helpful. So let me know if you guys have any questions down below. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there are any other routines that you guys are interested in. I definitely have done contour, eyebrow, blush routines, highlighting routines in the past, but I'm happy to do updated videos if you guys are interested. So just let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.